right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another nightly Read Aloud with Dr. Ivey. Tonight happens to be week 4, night 4 of our nightly Read Alouds during school closure. Hard to believe that this is night number 19. And that means we have been out of school for 19 days now, living in an unprecedented time. Today is Thursday. It is April the 9th, I believe, 2020. My name is Trevor Ivey, and I am a local educator here in Sumter County in the great state of South Carolina. And I have been inspired by so many of my educator colleagues who have been asked to step up and step out of their comfort zone to completely redesign teaching and learning experiences to keep our children engaged, meaningfully engaged during this very unique and challenging time. And I have been so inspired that I have committed myself to a nightly read aloud to help redirect some sense of normalcy to your routines at home. So if you are just now tuning in with us for the first time, we are doing this each night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll have a roll call question that I encourage you to answer in the comment section below. Tonight's roll call question is for you to ask your child, or if you are a child, remember this is for boys and girls of all ages. The question for tonight to answer is, what are you most looking forward to during spring break? And if you are a local citizen, our spring break happens to begin tomorrow and last through next week. As we move into the Easter celebration this weekend and all of next week. So I'll give you just a few more seconds to put your answer in the comment section below. Our read alouds this week happen to all be Easter themed. So regardless if you are a person who celebrates Easter, as educators, we believe in the value of teaching children of all different cultures, all different types of belief systems. And so just because it happens to be Easter this coming weekend, I have selected all of our books this week to be Easter themed. And to help us on night number 4 of our 4th week of our read alouds, I happened to pull a classic favorite to share with you tonight. Many of you remember this is for boys and girls of all ages. So you know I mean all ages. You will remember this character on the front cover of the book. He is our good friend Clifford the Big Red Dog. Tonight's read aloud is titled Clifford's Happy Easter. And it is both written and illustrated by Norman Bridwell. Let's find out how Big Clifford is going to be celebrating Easter. Hello, boys and girls, and I'm Emily Elizabeth, and I love spring. And so does my big red dog, whose name is Clifford. The best part of springtime, I believe, happens just to be Easter. You see, last spring, my mom and dad brought us a lot of eggs to color for the big Easter egg hunt. How many of you boys and girls like to paint eggs and have a big Easter egg hunt? I know I used to love to do that. On the day before Easter, I got to dye the eggs, but Clifford, the big red dog, wanted to help. But poor Clifford, he wasn't very good at painting the eggs. So Clifford helped by watching me decorate all of the eggs. He is such a good watcher. When I went to bed that very night, I fell asleep dreaming about the Easter eggs. It was a beautiful dream. You see, Clifford was stirring a giant tub of Easter egg dye while I tossed in the eggs. But then Clifford lost his balance and he tumbled into the big tub of dye. And something surprising began to happen. Wow, see, Clifford fell into the big tub of dye. Suddenly, boys and girls, Clifford was bright green. It was just like St. Patrick's Day. And boys and girls, you remember St. Patrick's Day because we just recently celebrated St. Patrick's Day, and we know that the color green is very much celebrated by those little Irish elves. Let's keep reading. Then Clifford turned sunshine yellow. This was becoming a very strange dream. So I grabbed a brush and I began to dab on some purple polka dots. All of a sudden, Clifford looked so good in polka dots, but I wonder what's going to happen. They didn't last long. The purple dots began to turn into squares, and then Clifford looked like a giant checkerboard, and I didn't like that. So I threw on some more dye. Clifford started to change colors again. Now he was red, white, and what color, boys and girls? Blue. I always used to wonder if I dreamed in real color, but now I know this was just too much for me. So, because it was too much for me, boys and girls, I grabbed a brush and I got some soapy water and I tried to scrub the dye off of Clifford. I was getting very frantic. And then, all of a sudden, I woke up. It was Easter morning and the sun was shining. I immediately got up and I ran out the door to see Clifford. Thank goodness he looked just the same as always. Good old Clifford. So we joined my friends and we got to run right away to the Easter egg hunt. We looked high and we looked low. Clifford looked at all the places that I would not have even thought to look. No hiding place was missed by Clifford. Sometimes Clifford went just a little too far. His hard work paid off because we ended up with heaps of eggs. And with all of those eggs, Clifford decided to do the best thing of all. He shared them with our friends. After all, boys and girls, friends are what make Easter a happy day. And boys and girls, that is the answer to my roll call question tonight. What am I most excited about during spring break? It usually is to spend time with friends and family because it always matches up with Easter, which is something that I look very forward to each year. And you know what? This Easter and this spring break is going to be very, very different than spring breaks and Easter celebrations in the past. I was reminded yesterday as I was texting and then eventually FaceTiming with a friend of mine that I went to college with who is Jewish and was for the first time celebrating the Seder of Passover virtual style. And she wasn't able to be with her friends and family that also celebrated Jewish Passover. And so while this may be a very unique time that we are living in with all sorts of hardships and challenges, and let us be reminded that these are the special things that make these times so very special. The change that will never change is that we always have our family and our friends to rely upon, just like Clifford, the big red dog, did in this book tonight. And he happened to continue to be the one to spread kindness and to spread happiness and to spread joy to his friends in need. And so that's my challenge to you, boys and girls, is as you begin to celebrate your Easter weekend, if you do celebrate Easter, or as you start to celebrate your spring break, let's remember to choose kindness and to show each other just how kind we can be to love each other, and to choose joy and happiness. So that concludes our nightly read aloud for night number 19 of school closure. Before you run off to wash your hands, brush your teeth, and get ready for bed, let us engage in our nightly reflection with our 4 questions. So question number 1, what was your favorite part about today? Take a moment to share with your parent, your older sibling, younger sibling, or your fuzzy friend, what was your favorite part about today? All right, question number 2. What was your least favorite part about today? All right, question number 3. If you could change one thing about today, what would you change? Tell your parent, your older or younger sibling, or your fuzzy friend. And question number 4, what is one thing that you hope will happen tomorrow? All right, boys and girls, that concludes our nightly read aloud for night number 19 of Reading with Dr. Ivey. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Sleep well, and remember, if no one has told you that they love you or care about you today, Dr. Ivey is here to tell you that he loves you and cares for you so very much. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the concluding night of week 4 of our read alouds. Good night, everybody.